When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
Hi, my name is Kamoya. Welcome to Empathic Earth Angel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for my empaths. I'm going to pull 3 messages from here. I'm going to pull 2 messages from my Witch Oracle deck. And I'm going to pull a message from your higher self from the future, a mindful message, and a daily oracle message as well. These 2 are just positive things for you to take with you at the end of the reading. I'm going to channel your energy and see what it is that you need to hear. And this deck will also allow you to see how you can use earth to heal you as well. And the future message is just something that you may need right now or in the future. Okay, alrighty, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I love you guys. So I'm going to pull the messages from your empathic deck right now. Alrighty, let's see what messages that spirit may have for you. Okay, so 2 cards already popped out. Okay, in terms of inner authority. So the cards that I got for you so far is honor your journey, inner authority, and moon phases. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. My empathic deck. So I'm going to read honor the journey first. This is what the card looks like. Okay, see what it says. That's number 4, honor the journey. Okay, that's number 4, honor the journey. This is what the card looks like. And you can see that there's a woman holding her belly. She looks pregnant in this. So let's see what it says. So on the card it says, don't rush, experience life, respect others, and allow messes. Okay. Let's see. Number 43. Okay, so this says honor the journey. Experience the journey. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to experience. The Western world teaches us to rush from one thing to the next, juggling family, career, health, and social life, and personal interests. It's an unrealistic standard and unhealthy long term. With so much instant gratification at our fingertips, it is easy to get caught up in wanting things to happen or change right now. Things take time, some more than others, as in the art for the card. So I'm guessing it's the pregnant woman. Rushing the process can be like wishing a baby could come before it's ready, and even then it's hard to pinpoint the exact time. There's a flow and process in to the things that happen in life, and while rushing to get to the end may work sometimes, it usually leaves us stressed and exhausted. Enjoy the now and invite in more balance of work, play, and friends. Okay. So this other section is called Healing Takes Time. This is also true for the healing journey. We see spiritual leaders who claim they had one spiritual awakening moment and everything changed. This is not the norm, and we shouldn't expect it to be. Big moments can shift our entire world, but the process of healing, growing, letting go, and truly getting to know ourselves is a long process. So enjoy the moments on the way there instead of trying to jump to the end. Pushing only results in repressing the parts of ourselves that are unseen and in need of love. So if you find yourself trying to rush to the end, think of a baby growing in the womb. You are growing through this life and are allowed to take your time. You never know what unexpected leaps lie in your future. Find your flow and go with it. If you are a mess or are going through something extremely difficult that you want to be done with, let yourself feel that frustration. The dance of life is unexpected, and you never know what is going to shift. This section is called Respect the Journey of Others. This card also reminds you to respect the pace and journey of others. We are all on a different path and different timeline. It is not your place to push your ideals or journey onto someone else, nor should others push theirs on you. Honor other people's journeys and respect the pace of yours. You are not omniscient. You don't have what someone else's journey has in store. You don't know what someone else's journey has in store for them, or what their soul contracts for this life might be. And this section is called Embrace Where Life Takes You. Lastly, we never know where the journey will take us. We will be asked to play different roles and find strength we never thought we had. Life is unexpected, and we must learn to honor the journey of it. So what I'm getting from this card that I pulled for you is that Spirit wants you to know that it is time for you to just focus on you. You've been too caught up in healing. So if all of your energy has been going into, I gotta solve this, I gotta fix this, you are not a problem to be fixed. Okay, your healing journey is a lifelong process. So Spirit wants you to stop and smell the roses. Don't just focus only on healing and that is all that you can do. Go out with friends, do something fun, something that you've always wanted to do that you've been putting off for a while. And also, like, don't think that just because one problem that you're dealing with right now is taking longer than expected. Everything takes time, and you don't know how long it may take you to heal from something. Sometimes you can come back to the same thing you thought you healed from a while back because you weren't fully done with it yet. Okay, and also to respect the journey of others. I struggle with this. I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to myself. It's like when you love someone, you're trying to give them all the tips that they need in order to fully heal from what it is that they're causing themselves to do. But everything that they're causing, their external world, is all a reflection of how they feel about themselves on the inside. You cannot change that for them. They have to change it for themselves. That's why we all have free will. So Spirit wants you to focus on your own journey and stop using other people as a distraction from yourself or whatever it is that you're running from right now. Just focus on you and allow for that person to go through their own journey. We don't know what kind of karma people may be having in this life right now, okay? And sometimes you may be fighting against what is meant for them to heal. You never know. Like, you could also be stopping them because you're aiding them, you know? They always think that at the end of the day, whatever I get into, this person's going to help me out of it. But that's not what Spirit wants you to focus on. They want you to focus on your own journey. Don't focus on what this person is doing with their life. It has nothing to do with you, okay? Focus on you. You can grow when you focus on you. Your energy is flowing to this person. You're feeding them your energy. And so at the end of the day, you're depleted. And you have no energy for your stuff, the stuff that you want to do, because you are focused on the wrong thing. Okay? The next... So it has potential blocks as well that you may be dealing with. So it says potential blocks. A block within this card is to be stuck in a mentality of rushing to the end. Give yourself permission to slow down and stay present with the journey. If you are going through a difficult time, find little things that bring you joy. Reach out for your support. Ask your system what it needs in order to move through this time. So when Spirit says that you're rushing through the end, when we're rushing and trying to get to the end of a whatever it is that we're trying to do, we miss the beauty in the journey. How are you going to be able to tell your story if you're always constantly distracted with something, multitasking, doing this, doing that? Spirit wants you to find a center. You need to ground more, meditate more, just focus on slowing down. This is not a race. You're not in a competition with anybody but yourself. Your only duty is to be better than you were yesterday. You're not in competition with anybody. Can't nobody take your blessings. Can't nobody take the things that are meant for you because they're meant for you. Okay, so there's no rush to get to the end of your healing journey. Take your time and don't overload your system by trying to heal everything all at once. Okay? Another block within this card is procrastination, taking too much time to decide or waiting around for the right time. If you're always waiting without acting, it might be time to be proactive. So for the other side of you guys, some of you may be scared to take the jump, take the leap. But I promise you, once you take that leap, it's only going to be easier from there. The hardest part is to do the first step. Okay, push through the energy of not feeling like you're good enough, because remember, at the end of the day, you are the creator of your own reality. Okay, if you are feeling stuck, get up, you say some affirmations, you shake yourself out of that energy. Okay, don't stay stuck. Being stuck is how we watch time pass by and we feel like, oh my god, I haven't done anything. Okay, well, you could have done something today and you'd been a day closer to your goal than you were yesterday. Okay, it doesn't matter how much time has passed in the past. That's in the past. If we're talking about now, all you got to do is get up and start. Starting is the hardest part. Okay, so for the exercise, it says it's time to write. Pull out a piece of paper and write out all the reasons you are in a hurry to get to the finish line. Let it all out without censoring yourself. Be honest. Now put your hands over your chest and read what you wrote out loud, feeling through the statements. If some of them are too heavy or triggering, you can skip them, unless you feel you can hold space for them. Now, with your hands over your chest, choose one of the statements and say, even though I believe blank, I am open to trusting a different process and timing. If you aren't ready for this, say, I want to be open to trusting a different process and timing, or whatever variation feels good for you. Let the statement sink in. These kinds of affirmations are great because they affirm how you feel, while opening to the possibility of change. If you're ready for a total reset, change up the phrase to fit you. Okay, so that was the card, Honor the Journey. Okay. I hope you give the exercise a try. It at least opens your heart up to say, okay, I'm open to trusting divine timing. Okay, because nothing happens before it's time. So the next card that I have for you is Inner Authority. And this is what the graphics look like. Okay, and on the card it says, trust yourself, listen to true self, trauma versus guidance. And 240. Okay, inner authority. You are your own authority. In a world where everyone and everything is trying to get our attention, it's hard to know who to listen to, who to believe. Conflicting advice is everywhere. So are gurus, shamans, and self-proclaimed enlightened masters. The key thing many of these people don't teach us is that you are in fact the authority, not them. Yes, teachers are important and having guides along your journey is essential, but if you only have guides and no inner compass to check their advice against, you are a feather in the wind, tossed and turned with every piece of conflicting counsel. So I feel like this card is telling you that maybe you're taking someone else's words too literally instead of trusting yourself. At the end of the day, you can ask for advice, but the only person that will know how you will feel about a certain situation is you. And you can do this through meditation, connecting with yourself. Sit down, put on a higher self frequency, and just listen to the answers that you like. Ask questions and listen for the answer. Don't give it to yourself, and just sit with it. Okay, sometimes when we get the answer, we might not be happy with what the answer may be, but it is what your soul truly desires. Okay, no one else can tell you what you desire except you. This card prompts you to get in touch with your inner authority. When you work with someone in a spiritual or healing capacity, do they constantly try to overrule your intuition by telling you that theirs is better? Or do they help you get in touch with your own inner power and teach you to find the answers within? External advice can be helpful as long as it resonates with you. If it does not, you should be taking a deeper look into why, instead of assuming you know nothing. So don't assume you know nothing because someone else's advice wasn't going to be what your initial decision was. If it's not resonating, sit with it, figure out why it's not resonating. So for example, for me, the people around me are kind of more introverted, so like for them, conflict, they shy away from conflict, but for me, it makes me feel better to express how I feel rather than sit with it or allow the situation to fester. The longer I allow it to fester, the worse I feel. So I learned that about me, that I am different in that aspect. So for me, I have to communicate how I feel. Otherwise, I will spew in it with anxiety and depression and all of these things. So that's how I release my emotions, and that's how I feel. And I open up myself to be more vulnerable in that way. So just figure out what resonates with you and your soul, okay? All right, so this says, listen to your wise self, trust yourself. Is it true that trauma and past experiences have a way of tainting your view? It is true that trauma and past experiences have a way of tainting your view, but you still have emotions to guide you. If something feels wrong, investigate. If someone tries to gaslight you by telling you that they know better, check in with yourself. Remember that even if someone is saying things that are technically true, it doesn't mean it is true for you at this moment or that it is right for you. For example, you are angry at someone because they hurt you, and a friend says you need to forgive. This might be true for some people, but not all. Your process and timing might look different. Does this statement inspire you to lean into forgiveness, or does it bring up all unresolved feelings that still need time to process? So forgiveness there's not a timeline on when you are going to forgive someone. Some people may be able to forgive and let go right away, but if it takes you a little bit more time, then it takes you a little bit more time. As long as you're taking that time to process how you truly feel, then you won't keep all of those blocked emotions stuffed inside of you. Okay? Put all advice to get through your internal filter. Put all advice through your internal filter. This is your journey, and you are the ultimate authority. Tap into that authority and stand your ground. If you are struggling to know if your perspective or inner sense is right, then try and meditate and figure out, is it trauma or is it how I truly feel? Because sometimes trauma can get in the way and cloud our judgment. So if it feels negative, this is how I tell the difference between my trauma and if I truly want to do something. So if it feels negative or if it causes me pain, I know that is trauma. If my mind is saying, you know what, don't text back because at the end of the day they took 4 hours to text back, that is trauma. Okay, that is not how we operate. That's not how we move. We move with a place of love. Okay, so if it feels good, then that is you, your soul, your higher self telling you that this is what I want to do. If it feels bad, then that's because your trauma is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you afraid of actually going for the things that you want to do in life. So potential blocks for this card. You might be so lost in the advice of others that you can no longer find your inner authority. If this is you, this is for the guided thing in here. It's like a picture. Okay, it's time to get back in touch with you. Okay. So what it's saying is that if you are finding yourself always taking advice from other people versus actually going to you first, then you've gone too far in terms of you're disconnected from your inner authority. Your advice, you need to give yourself advice. You don't need to be seeking it outside of you, because other people can't know what is good for you because they aren't you. They haven't been through your experiences. They don't have the same mind as you. They have a different mind as you. You know, you're unique, so you can't expect somebody else to know what you want. Okay? On the other side, another block may be you might be closed off to any external input, thinking you are absolutely right about everything. Find your inner tribe of people that you trust and open yourself to their advice. Ask yourself if what they say might be true and how you can change. Okay, so sometimes it can be hard to swallow a pill when somebody gives you a comment about yourself that you're just like, oh, you reject it immediately. But if you sit down and you say, okay, I respect this person's opinion and I know that they don't mean me any harm, maybe sit down and try to reflect on what they said instead of always being defensive or trying to say, okay, at the end of the day, I know more than you, so whatever you said is garbage. You know, we miss certain lessons when we think we know everything, because we don't know everything. We're constantly changing, we're constantly growing. Okay. So the exercise that it has here, it says meditate and imagine a light with the center of your so the exercise says meditate and imagine a light within the center of your being. It may be small at first, but give it time to grow. Feel into it. What does it feel like? What sensations and emotions would you associate it with? This light is your center. It is a powerful part of you that is always there. Even if you lose touch with it, strengthen your connection with this light and lean into it anytime you need to check in with what you believe. Sometimes you will get an answer, and sometimes you will find feelings or stray thoughts over covering the light. Okay. Sometimes I feel like when I'm meditating and I feel like there's thoughts that pop up that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to get answers to, I just refocus and bring my energy back into what it is that I'm trying to ask the question. So I'm just like, I count down from 100 to 0, and I say, okay, my mind is at peace now. These are the questions that I have. What should I do? What should I say? That is how I work with that. But you can find your own rhythm to it. It doesn't have to be exactly what I did. So the next card that I have for you is the moon phases, which is lovely. We have the new moon coming up, so I know that is in Cancer, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. I'm feeling it now. So let's see what this says. Moon phases, okay. 80. Okay. So this says moon phases. Be like water. Water in its liquid form must flow in order to thrive. We are made primarily of water and must flow as well, remaining flexible and adaptable through the different phases of life. So I'm getting the energy of like someone is resisting the changes of life. The only way for us to grow is to allow change to come into our life. If we don't allow change to come into our life, we live the same mundane life over and over and over again, and your soul isn't happy with that because it knows that it's destined for more. Okay, so when we embrace change and we know that life is constantly flowing, it allows us to let go and truly be free, because there's nothing that we can control about life. Life is going to constantly be changing. No matter what we do, we cannot hang on to it. And when we try to hang on to it, that's how we cause depression and anxiety, because we're living in the past or we're living in the future. Okay, and Spirit wants you to know that it is okay to let go at this time and just allow life to flow into you, and trust that at the end of the day, you are divinely protected and only good things will come to you if you allow them to. Okay, but you have to allow the change in for that to happen. So this says moon phases and emotions. The moon is the ultimate representation of honoring phases. We love the moon. Even though she isn't always full, the same is true for you. There is beauty in each phase that you go through. This card is all about honoring where you are, even if that place isn't where you want to be. So Spirit wants you to stop looking at where you want to be and really just practice gratitude for the moment that you are in right now. Because when we practice gratitude for the moment that we are in right now, it allows for more good things to come in once we appreciate what we have now. Okay, this is a time to be gentle and recognize the power in your different phases. Be gentle on yourself. Caring for yourself in each phase is key. When the shadow arises, meet yourself where you are. So a lot of the times we can be afraid of our shadow self, but our shadow self is also a part of us. So we need to find ways to channel that dark energy into being creative. So for example, if you are angry, maybe you may start to box. You let that energy out in the gym. If you are sad, you can write poetry. There's different ways for you to express these feelings, but don't bottle it up, because when we keep it bottled up is when it comes out and it explodes. Okay. Some phases are for shadow work, working through old emotions, traumas, and beliefs, and others are for playing, working, or connecting. Don't expect yourself to be full all the time. The moon card also invites you to flow through your emotional phases. Emotions come and go if we allow them to flow. So emotions, we are not supposed to keep on holding on to emotions. We're supposed to let them, feel them, and then let them, release them. But when we hold on to it, that's when we create sadness. That's when we create depression. Okay, we're not meant to hold on to these emotions. We're meant to feel them and release them. Phases of life. There are also different phases of life. Through the years, as we age, we transition into different energies and ways of being. Each phase requires something different from us, and it is important to keep updating our mindset to stay present with the current version of ourselves. Living in the past or wishing for the future version of ourselves to keep us from immersing in the present. Okay, so when we live in the past and when we live in the future, it keeps us from actually living and being present. It's not about acting your age. What is really just okay, it's not about acting your age, which is really just a way of getting older people to do as society says. It's about allowing yourself to accept and embody the phase you're in, whatever it looks like for you. Find the fullest expression of you just as you are. The gentle archetype moon phases that women transition through are the child, which is innocent, trusting, curious, playful; the maiden, exploring, sexual, independent, and confident; the mother, nurturing, abundant, creative, and protective; and the crone, wise, adaptable, powerful, and passionate. These are energies that we embody that don't necessarily follow age, though they can. Which of these archetypes are you currently in? It could be more than one, or even transitioning from one to another. So this next paragraph is called menstrual cycle. This card also invites you to look at your menstrual moon cycle, tapping into those phases and embodying each as they come. If you don't have a cycle for whatever reason, you might try aligning with the phases of the moon instead, using the same system. Okay? Just after your period is the follicular stage, where you can invite in new projects or explore new things. Next is ovulation, where you are at your peak energy to be extroverted and connect with others. Third is the lunar stage, where you are optimized to finish projects and start to go more inward. Last is the menstrual cycle, where you will often want to go into your cave and rest. Your hormones are at this stage are perfect for looking at the big picture and assessing where you are and how you really feel about situations. Keep in mind that this is what a healthy menstrual cycle looks like, and you might need to rebalance your hormones to fully embody this. A great book on better understanding and healing your cycle is The Flow by Alisa Vitti. Okay. So potential blocks for this card. Are you pushing hard to be somewhere you aren't? It can be difficult when things don't happen as expected. We have to recalibrate. But remember that life and your body are speaking to you. The phase you are in will shift, even in subtle ways. The nature of life is change. If you are struggling to accept where you are, find something that you can accept and own what you cannot. For example, I can accept that things are too hard to accept right now. Inviting in some level of acceptance can open us to being able to work through the rest. Okay, an exercise for this card is take a large sheet of paper and write out the different moon phases descriptions in your own section, including the self-care guidelines and mantra for each. Next, draw the phase of the moon at the top of each description. Make each moon beautiful in whatever way you wish. You might also add a flower or even a caterpillar in different stages of growth and transformation. Put this paper somewhere you will see it often. Each morning, assess how you are feeling and match it with one of the phases. This will help you know how to care for yourself every day based on how you are feeling. Okay, so that is the empathic reading that I got for you guys. Oh, I love that. Okay. Alrighty, so now we're gonna move on to a message from the Green Witch's Oracle as to what you can use from Earth to heal your body, mind, and spirit. Okay. So I'm gonna pull a card from there as well. Okay. Okay. So a cup of tea, patience and reassessment. Okay, so just like the other cards where we got before about resting and not trying to rush your process and growth, we pulled the card. It's called a cup of tea, and underneath it says patience and reassessment. Okay, so now I'm going to read you what it says from the Oracle book. Okay, a cup of tea. So, card meaning, a cup of tea provides you with a moment of quiet. Savor the process and stay present. This brewing tea takes time. Just as a tricky situation takes time to develop, a quick reaction may not be the way to go. Have patience and let things ripen. Just Just as an infusion of herbs take time to come to fully potency, magical work rarely produces instantaneous results. Remember, a watch pot never boils. Let it do its work in its own time and trust in your process. Use the time to reflect on the situation and how you feel about it and reassess your perspective. The cup of tea card reminds you that perhaps all is not as it seems. So it's following the same theme as your oracle reading, and it's saying that you need to have that patience. Nothing that you watch will give it time to grow. Okay, a watch pot never boils is one of my favorite things to say as well, but you just need to trust in Spirit wants you to find more quiet time to quiet your mind, meditation, just practice on being more present. I feel like sometimes when we don't know how to be present, we can find videos on YouTube and say how to be more present in my current life as a nurse, as a doctor. There must be a video on there to help you. For me right now, I'm reading a book called The Gift of Presence. I will link the author down below because I don't really remember right now off of the top of my head, honestly. But Spirit wants you to know that you're gonna be okay. You just gotta have a little patience and allow them to do the magical work that you're trying to manifest right now. Okay, just a little bit of patience. And a reflection question that it has is, are these lessons you can learn from a difficult situation that you haven't considered yet? So sometimes when we go through difficult situations, we like to get angry, we like to get upset, but taking that time to find that quiet space and reflect on the situation, what can I take away from this? Okay, because out of every difficulty, out of every challenge, there is a lesson. So what is the lesson that you learn? And once you know that lesson, you allow yourself to release the situation, release that karma, and don't repeat the same cycles over and over again. But if we're not learning from what we are doing, then we're going to continue to do the same thing, expecting a different result. That's madness. It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But yes, okay, so that's the card that I pulled from the deck. I think I'm only going to pull one card from that deck right now. But I'm going to give you a message from your future higher self, some advice that she or he or they may need to tell you, okay? Okay. A message from your higher self. You are the rare flower that blooms in the dark. Keep growing. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so Spirit wants you to know that you are rare, you are special. Okay, don't give up. Things may be dark right now, but what are you learning from this dark situation that you've been through? What did you learn? Okay, whatever you learn from it is the growth that you're experiencing. You're allowing yourself to work through past life trauma to release that, okay, so that you may able to not only manifest but keep your manifestations. When we don't learn anything from the situation that we go through, that is how we give away our blessings. That's how we self-sabotage, because we don't feel like we deserve it. But Spirit is letting you know that you deserve it because you are rare, you are special. Okay, so that is the message from your future self. I'm going to pull a mindful message for you to take with you throughout your day as well. Oh, okay. Morning rituals. Okay. So this card said, alright, sorry about that. I was getting a call. So this card says morning rituals. Okay, and I'm going to read the interpretation for you. Morning rituals. In the morning, I will take time to tune into myself, to set high vibrational rituals that will help me lead a good day. I pay attention to the morning habits that don't serve me and change them for ones that do. So I like this card specifically because this does help set the tone for the day. So if you work at 7 a.m., I want you to get up at 5 a.m. and meditate. Sit with your own energy before you go on your phone, before you look at anything up, before you respond to messages. Don't get up and start scrolling. As soon as you get up and start scrolling, you waste time. Okay, what is it that you have, like your passion project? Dedicate 15 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the morning. But your morning ritual is very important. When you wake up is the best time to listen to affirmations. Okay, your mind is fresh, you're planting new seeds, creating new thought patterns. Okay, when we go through trauma, our brain believes that we don't deserve certain things. But when you get up in the morning and you set your affirmations, you're creating new thought patterns, new way of thinking, so that you can attach to the frequency of your manifestations. Okay, but spirit wants you to really focus on what you're doing in the morning and make sure that it is positive. You're starting your day off positively, and don't allow anybody else to disturb the peace that you create in the morning. Okay, that is your mindful message for the day. And I'm going to pull just a positive message from this oracle deck as well for you to carry with you at the end of this reading. Okay. Ooh, a couple cards popped out. Guess I will read all of them. They're short. So it says, consider all options before acting. Consider all options before acting. So sitting with yourself, figuring out what decision that you need to make is an option as well. I'm not gonna understand where to place these cards, because this is how you're gonna connect to your reading personally. So however it resonates, you just take that and you use your own intuition to let me know how this resonates in the comments, because I would love to hear it. And then the other one says, I am powerful and loved. So don't forget that you are a magical being. Okay, Spirit's letting you know that you are loved, but you have to see it through the lens of love. Look through the lens of love and you will be able to see where it is that you are experiencing love in your life. Okay, this says you are energy, you are magic. Okay, again, like Spirit's letting you know that you are magical. So don't give up, babes. Like, we can always create our own reality as long as we change the way that we think. The behavior patterns that don't align with our higher self, we release those. Okay, this one says, today is a sacred gift from the universe. So being present is very important. Okay, every day is a gift. That's why it's called the present moment. Find ways to stay grounded so that you can experience a present moment. If you're worrying about the past and the future, then you're not living. Okay. Trust in yourself, that inner authority again. Okay, so Spirit's letting you know that at the end of the day, you have the answers. You can trust you. Okay. And it says, my happiness is a choice I make. So this is a very good card that I pulled. I was recently also thinking about this, how about happiness being a choice. So when you decide to do affirmations, when you decide to get up and change your mindset, change the things that you're doing, that is a choice. You're actively choosing your path. You're actively choosing your higher self. Okay, so happiness is always going to be a choice. When we sit and we spew in negative emotions, we're allowing ourselves to be swept away by the darkness. But the message from your higher self is letting you know that you need to release that darkness so that you can manifest the life that you do desire. Okay. And lastly, quiet your mind. Okay, so we're back to meditation. Spirit wants you to meditate. Okay, you need to find a quiet place to quiet those thoughts. Any negative thoughts that are telling you that you aren't good enough, those thoughts are not you. Spirit wants you to focus on your affirmations so that you can rewrite your story. Okay, you are the creator of your story, so you get to choose what it is that you want to do, but you have to focus on a quiet mind. Okay, so those are the messages that I have for you today, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to watch this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video, and I love you guys. Bye bye.